Hello fellow YouTubers, this is DVD Collector 1986 here with a new video. I'm going to do several things in this video today. I meant to do at least one more video for October, so I apologize, I'm a little bit late on that. However, in this video I will show you a list of horror films I have watched since my last video, so that will make up for the end of October. I'm also going to show some Blu-Rays and DVDs I got in the mail that I ordered, stuff I've received over the last few days. I got quite a stack there. And lastly, but certainly not least, this will also be a mail day video. A friend of mine from Texas sent me a package, and I'm going to show what she sent me. I don't really know what's in the box, so it'll be interesting to go through that. But like I said, there are three things I want to do in this video, so let's get into it. Okay, as for horror films I watched since my last video, Return of the Swamp Thing, classic from my childhood. Beetlejuice, love that movie. The Town That Dreaded Sundown, that would be the remake. Very, very cool movie, modern remake. I believe Danielle Harris has a small cameo in that. She plays one of the town folk in one of the scenes. However, I believe she is uncredited, but she is in that movie in a very small part. Happy Halloween, that would be the Jimmy Champagne Halloween fan film short. Very well done, very entertaining. I understand it takes a lot of work and a lot of effort to make these fan films. I could never make anything that good myself, but I will say the only complaint I have about all these fan films is, as great as they are, I wish that they were longer. And that's not a negative thing. I liked what they did so much that I wish that they were longer, is all that I mean. But it was a very good Halloween short. I also watched Killer Clowns from Outer Space, a classic movie. If you don't like clowns, definitely avoid that one for sure. Also, I watched Children of the Corn, the original. Love that movie. I don't really care for the sequels all that much, but the first one was really good. Intruder, that's a slasher that takes place inside a 1980s era grocery store that's closing. Very, very well done movie. Bruce Campbell has a small cameo in that. Darkness Falls, basically a horror film about an evil tooth fairy. A very good movie. Grave Encounters, that is one of the very few very good found footage horror films. There's only, now that I've seen Grave Encounters, there's only three found footage films that I like. Grave Encounters, Paranormal Activity, and Blair Witch Project. I'm not really a fan of found footage horror films, but those three are actually very, very well done. Let's see, Grave Encounters 2, that one was okay. Nowhere near as good as the first. I think they got a little too ambitious with the story. They tried to go a little too big with it. I prefer the first one over the second one. The second one wasn't terrible. It just wasn't that great. I probably won't watch it again. However, I do love the first one, as I said. I also watched Halloween 2018. It's a pretty good movie. The Children, I didn't really care for that one. I don't know why. The kids in that movie to me were just annoying, and I didn't really like that one, but I did watch it, so I had to put it on the list. A Nightmare on Elm Street, Part 3, The Dream Warriors. Great movie. Probably one of the best in the Nightmare franchise, although my favorite of all of them would be the first, but the third one is really good. I also watched More Brains, that is the feature length making of documentary for the movie Return of the Living Dead from 1985. A very well done documentary. Again, it's a feature length documentary. It's almost 2 hours long, I think, but it's really entertaining. I watched Ouija for the first time. It was pretty good, but it wasn't as great as some people have made it out to be. I think the ideas were solid, but to me, what that movie suffered from was the fact that it was PG-13. If you're going to do a horror film, you might as well just go rated R. Don't make your movie PG-13 just for the sake of putting more people in theater seats. Just go all out with an R rating, because when you do a PG-13 horror film, it usually comes across as being very watered down. But the movie wasn't terrible, though. But I think it would have been even better if they had just gone with the R rating instead of being PG-13. But I did see that movie. Return of the Living Dead, obviously, because I watched More Brains before that. Return of the Living Dead Part 2, very good sequel. It's almost a soft remake of the first one, because it's got some of the same characters in it, even though those characters died in the first one. So they kind of like redid the first movie when they made Part 2. But I like both of those movies. Part 2 is really good. I also watched a documentary called A Decade in Darkness, which is a small documentary that is found on the Shout Factory release of Return of the Living Dead. Pretty good documentary about I think it's mostly focused on the horror films of the 80s. Very well done documentary. A little short. It's about half an hour, but it was really good, though. Ghostface, the Scream fan film. It's only about 20 minutes, but it was actually pretty entertaining, pretty good. I'm not real big on the Scream movies, but I will say this. If you are a fan of the Scream movies, I think you'll enjoy that fan film quite a bit. Let's see. Halloween Inferno, parts 1, 2, and 3. It's probably the best Halloween fan film that I've ever seen. Very well done. Scream Queens, that's a documentary that's on, or included on one of the bonus discs of the new Friday the 13th box set that just came out. Pretty good documentary, all about the female characters in horror films, hence why it's called Scream Queens. Very well done. Slice and Dice, the slasher film forever documentary, that's also in the Friday the 13th box set. I watched that. Very well done. The Innkeepers, about a hotel that's supposedly haunted. Very well done. It's a slow burn of a movie, but it's very well done. Let's see. The Others, really good spooky ghost haunted house type movie starring Nicole Kidman that has a really cool twist ending. If you've seen the movie and you know the twist ending, then the whole surprise element of the movie is kind of thrown out the window. But because I've seen it several times. But if you don't know what the twist ending is, and nobody tells you what that twist ending is, and you go in and you watch the movie, it's pretty shocking. It's actually a very well done movie. Let's see. I also watched Voorhees, which is a Friday the 13th fan film. This fan film is actually 100 minutes long. I believe an hour and 40 minutes. not as good as Never Hike Alone or Never Hike in the Snow, but still up there. It's very, very, very good. The production value is good. It's just not as good as the Never Hike Alone and Never Hike in the Snow. But what the movie lacks in production value, it makes up for in runtime. The look of Jason is really good in it, especially when his mask comes off at the end. I think they did a really good job with that. You get zombie Jason in this, so it's very well done. And lastly, I did a double feature on Halloween. The night of Halloween, October 31st. I watched Halloween 1978 and I watched Halloween 2018 back to back. It made a really good double feature, actually. So that's all I watched since my last video. And now I'm going to jump into what movies I've got in the mail. And so first we have Gonjam, I think is how you say that, Haunted Asylum. A really, really good... This is actually a found footage movie as well. And this is a really good Haunted Asylum movie. It's very similar to Grave Encounters, but it's actually pretty good. Pretty scary. Okay. Next, the Arrow video release of Mallrats. This is a packed release. If you don't own this movie and you like this movie, this is the version to get. Next, Clerks. Never saw this movie or Mallrats, or pretty much haven't seen any of Kevin Smith's movies until recently, but I really like them, and Clerks is hilarious. Next up, Clerks 2, obviously. If I got Clerks 1, I had to get Clerks 2. Clerks 2 is got the same characters, but still a lot different than the first, but it's really a funny movie as well. Next, Terror in the Aisles. This is the Shout Factory Blu-ray release. I actually have the Halloween 2 release that has this, but I really like this because this is all for this documentary, and it has special features, including an alternate cut of this documentary on here. And this is a really good documentary from the early 80s if you haven't seen it. Next, Grave Encounters. You heard me talk about this movie earlier. Next, Uncommon Valor from 1983 with Gene Hackman. This is a really good early 80s action flick. I've always been a fan of this movie. Ever since I first saw it, I liked it. Next, another Arrow release, Children of the Corn. This is a packed release also. Next, Cabin Fever. Train to Busan. I actually saw this on Shudder, and after I watched it, I loved it, so I had to pick it up. Another Arrow release, Killer Clowns from Outer Space. This is a movie that's really brand new to me. I haven't seen it until I got it in the mail the other day, and that's I Think We're Alone Now. It's kind of a post-apocalyptic movie about a guy that's all by himself, and he's played by Peter Dinklage, and then eventually there's a girl that shows up. This guy basically is in this little town all by himself because of this apocalypse, which whatever happened is never explained. It's never explained. We don't know, but he goes through the town cleaning up the buildings, and trying to keep the little town he's in looking as normal as possible. And he kind of has his little routines that he does to stay level-headed, because as far as he knows, he's the last person alive. And then eventually this girl shows up, like I said, and she's played by Elle Fanning, which is Dakota Fanning's sister. This is actually a pretty good post-apocalyptic movie. And that's it, yeah, for the movies. Now I'm going to get to the box. Okay, so we have a note here. It says, Chris, I hope you like what I sent. Let's see. And then it says, open thing in, open the item wrapped in white last. So there's something in this box that's wrapped in, like, it feels like a little white towel. And apparently she wants me to save that item for last. And then she put, P.S. It is supposed to glow in the dark. Love, Laurie. Cool. So let's get into this and see what we got here. So first, let's see. There's it says includes 2 bonus movies, toe tags, and serial killer. But the main movie that's in here is The Devil's Restaurant. Tagline says your table awaits. Cool. I'll have to check this out. Never heard of that one either. Let's see. And then this movie I've never heard of either. It's called Clown Town. It says they'll tickle your funny bone, but they have tickle is scratched out, and above tickle it says rip out. So they'll rip out your funny bone. And looks like some kind of evil clown movie. So I'm into movies about evil clowns, so I can't wait to check that out. Let's see here. Nope. She sent me a bag of Act 2 microwave popcorn. Apparently, I believe this is her son's favorite popcorn. That's what she told me. Here, we have a bubble mailer. Oh, cool. This is a Scream Factory Blu-ray of Prince of Darkness. However, this is the steelbook of Prince of Darkness, and it actually has Alice Cooper on the front of the disc, which is really cool. I love this movie. I would almost say this is probably my favorite John Carpenter movie, even more so than Halloween. I love this movie. And I cannot believe that she found the steelbook of this and sent it to me. I really appreciate this, Lori. I did know that she was sending this. God, this steelbook is even nicer looking in person. I mean, I've seen people do unboxings for it, and you've even got, even though you don't see his face, that's supposed to be Donald Pleasance on the front. That's also another reason why I love this movie, is because Donald Pleasance is in it. But thank you so much for that steelbook. That is so awesome. Okay, this looks like some sort of a plastic straw. Again, I don't know what this is, but I'm going to... Oh man, this is awesome. This appears to be, she said, she didn't tell me what this was, but she said that it had to be, I believe this had to be custom made, because she was asking me what are some of my favorite images, pictures I've seen of like Donald Pleasance from the Halloween movies. And so she got some images, and I don't know. Wow, this is something. Okay, let me hold on a minute before I show this. Let me see what this says. Tumblr care card. Do not use in the do not use microwave. Handcrafted with care. Please handle with care. So this is a custom made job apparently. Okay, so here's the lid, and it's got like a metal lining, which is really cool. So assume it would be good for like coffee, stuff like that. But okay, this says on here, I met him 15 years ago. I was told there was nothing left, no reason, no conscience, even the most rudimentary sense of life or death, good or evil, right or wrong. I met this 6-year-old child with this blank, pale, emotionless face and the blackest eyes, the devil's eyes. And then it has 4 images of Donald Pleasance on it. And there's like some glittery stuff here at the bottom for decoration. So I'm going to go ahead and show it. There's the quote I just read. And then there's one image of Donald Pleasance. And then there's that one. There's a smaller one right there before he shoots Michael off the balcony. And then there's that one, which was taken right after he gave that little speech of that quote I just read. And obviously, like I said, the quote is on there. And then on the bottom, it has the pumpkin, or the jack-o'-lantern with the hand with the knife on the bottom. Oh man, this is so cool. Oh, thank you so much, Lori. I had no idea what she was sending, and she just said that when I got it that I would absolutely love this. And this is obviously it's a custom made like tumbler essentially, and this is so cool. And it comes with this straw and everything. Thank you so much for this stuff, Lori. I don't know what to say other than thank you. I'm totally blown away by all this stuff, but especially the steelbook and this custom tumbler. Wow, I'm gonna drink out of that all the time. That is what my friend Lori sent. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Thanks for watching, and I will catch you guys next time. Thanks.